You know who we are.
The most dangerous morning show.
Put some respect on it.
The Breakfast Club.
All right.
Let's go, baby.
We are the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Let's get into some front page news. Where we starting, Yee?
Well, let's start with what is happening with this campaign right now, with this election. Now, former Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders actually predicted what was going to happen with this 2020 presidential race, and he predicted this while he was on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. That interview from October is making the rounds again. Listen to this.
What polls show and what studies have shown is that for whatever reason, Democrats are more likely to use mail-in ballots. Republicans are more likely to walk into polling booths on Election Day. It is likely that the first votes that will be counted will be those people who came in on Election Day, which will be Republican. And here is the fear, and I hope everybody hears that. It could well be, and I don't know what's going to happen, nobody does, but it could well be that at 10 o'clock on election night, Trump is winning in Michigan, he's winning in Pennsylvania, he's winning in Wisconsin, and he gets on the television, he says, "Thank you, Americans, for re-electing me. It's all over. Have a good day." But then the next day and the day following, all of those mail-in ballots start getting counted, and it turns out that Biden has won those states. At which point Trump says, "See, I told you the whole thing was fraudulent. I told you those mail-in ballots were crooked. And we're not going to leave office."
It's easy to predict what's going to happen, especially when you have a person telling you exactly what they're going to do. Trump been telling us the blueprint, for what he planned to do as far as attacking the integrity of the election for months. He's been telling us exactly what he's going to do, how he's going to do it, and he knows his followers are stupid enough to believe that. Like, I saw somebody on Facebook last night say, "How is this possible? On election night, he was up by 500,000 votes in Michigan. Now he's down. It's called counting the votes, stupid." That's what happens, all right? Jesus.
All right, well, Donald Trump's team, in the meantime, is sending out emails to his supporters.
Saying
and the
help.
email says, "The Democrats will try to steal this election, just like I predicted from the start. Mail-in ballots are leading to chaos like you've never seen, plain and simple. The radical left is going to do whatever it takes to try and rip a Trump-Pence victory away from you, and that's why I'm coming to you now. I need your help to ensure we have the resources to protect the results. We can't allow the left-wing mob to undermine our election."
Yeah, I mean, his rhetoric hasn't even been consistent on that, because at one point he was against mail-in voting, then he was for mail-in voting. He actually did absentee ballot himself, and he did mail-in voting. So it's just like, that is the process in America. People do mail-in ballots. I didn't trust mail-in ballots, to be honest, because I never did it before.
Right.
But I did it this year.
I did it this year, yeah.
And
my daughter did it, my wife did it this year. Yep.
It seems to be working. They pull up kind of late, but they pull up nonetheless. Like Jesus. They don't come when you call them, but they always on time.
All right, well, you can also hear what's been happening in Detroit as they were trying to count the vote. There were people lined up outside, and here were the chants.
Stop that count! Stop that count! Stop that count!
If you stop the count, you need to stop the fight. Okay, I'm an avid boxing fan. When somebody hits that canvas, if there's no need for a count, that means the fight is waved off. Somebody's declared a winner.
Every vote has to count. You cannot stop the count. Come on now.
Unless you're getting your ass kicked now. Unless it's just like playing...
Doesn't matter. Fair is fair. If you lose, you got to take it gracefully.
Yeah. If you're playing Madden and somebody up by 4 touchdowns, you got to pass the controller, man. Unplug it. Okay. All right. Unplug it. Trump trying to unplug the PlayStation right now.
Turn it right off. Oh, man.
Yeah, but as you can see, throughout these different states, there are a lot of protesters. They actually declared a riot in Portland, and the National Guard was activated, and they said at least 10 protesters were arrested, and that was in response to widespread violence that was happening there.
Now,
one person, they said, was armed with a gun, knife, and was toting an improvised explosive device. They also had officers were being attacked with bottles and at least one Molotov cocktail.
We expect. Damn. Why you turn the future? Why you say that so fast? It sounded like somebody threw a Molotov cocktail in your house and you had to run real quickie. Jesus Christ. But we expected violence, though. You know what I mean? But I did see a lot of people on the right say that they wouldn't participate in violence because that's what the left would do if they lost. So we'll see if they stick to that.
Yeah, I seen them protesting in New York City. I think 50 people got arrested last night in New York. I seen somebody spit in the officer's face. It was nasty last night in New York. Downtown, too.
Yeah, what's the place called? Greenwich?
Yep.
I started to say Greenwich.
No, Greenwich.
I heard you say that earlier.
Greenwich.
Greenwich. My goodness. All right.
Isn't that the Wizard of Oz? Oh, no, Glinda the Good Witch. Never mind.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's your front page news.
All right. Thank you, Missy. Now, when we come back, we have some special guests joining us. We have Ebony K. Williams and Dustin Ross. We'll be talking to them.
That's right. The host of the Holding Court podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network. And plus, Ebony is just brilliant the way she breaks down law. And she's the newest member of the Real Housewives of
New York.
There you go. I couldn't remember what city, but I know it was one of them.
All right. So we'll get into that next. Keep it locked. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.